Hey YouTube! Now that the 31 Days of Tarot challenge is over, I'm getting back to some of the regular content on my channel. And one of the things that I've been meaning to do is a little video about the KonMari method. And since KonMari is now on Netflix, I've heard. I haven't seen the show, but I've heard that it's become a thing. I thought it might be a good time to do a little 1 year on video. So I'm going to be walking around my space here, and I very intentionally chose a day that's actually on the messier side because I want to be really honest with you about what KonMari has and hasn't accomplished for me, and what my space looks like and whether I'm actually using the things, because when I did the method early in 2018, one of the things I was most curious about is how it lasted. So let's get started. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you my space. So this is my bedroom. And like I said, I have not in any way decluttered. So you can see I'm being vulnerable here. Very cluttered nightstand. But I wanted to show you some of the things that did change and stick, as well as what hasn't. So one thing is I definitely do have some, I would say, more intentional parts of my space where I looked for ways to spark joy. So one example is over here. You'll see on the windowsill, I don't have an altar for my spiritual practice, but I do have my kind of witchy journal and then some crystals with a black scarf underneath, so it's kind of nicer than just the windowsill. Got my two little bears hugging over here. This is the tripod I use for most of my filming, and then it's hard to see, but I have a dragon riding a dragon, as well as a little color changing LED light that I can use to make my bed a nice reading space. This has been there for a while, but this is one of the favorite things in my room, is this bit of art. I find that these, the quote there is just a sticker. So you can get these stickers that you can put up on your wall, and I really love them for making the space a little more interesting. So you can see my bed is kind of, it's messy right now, but this is like the space where I often hang out on the weekends, and have made no effort to change that. One thing that I did do is over here, my bedside table, I did take a little organizer, and so like my pillows and everything, vitamins are all organized there, so they have their place. That is one thing about KonMari that has stuck for me, is I would say much more often than her, I just throw things on the floor, as you can see here, but I do have a place for everything, and that is something that is fairly new to me. I'd tried it before, but using her tips for finding a place has really helped. So you can see there's a bunch of glasses and things there, but like I know where they go. I've got a candle that I light much more frequently, kind of give myself a little space. And then down here are the books that I intend to read soon, some journals and things, so that they're easily accessible. And then, so my closet is probably one of the bigger things. I'm going to turn the light on for you. Closet is one of the bigger things that changed when I did KonMari, and it is more or less the same. There's one shirt on the floor right now, but usually it's actually a nice clean vacuumed floor. I'm not lying, it's true. I totally changed up my closet. So some of the things I did when I started doing KonMari is I put some bookshelves over here on the wall, including, there's a little bowl here, and this is the home where I keep keys, spare credit card, wallet, stuff like that, that's easy to access. And I have this thing of drawers, which used to be right by my bed, but I found that I didn't like that kind of clutter right by my bed, even though it's well organized. It kind of felt like a lot of text there. I think she mentions having lots of text can be overwhelming, but I loved having this, so I just moved it. You can see that it's one of these like tool organizers, and I just use my label maker and print out labels for different things. So for example, when I'm traveling, I can just go straight to this travel electronics drawer. It's got a little reading light, it's got a cord and a travel plug. that I can use, so I always know where that is. This is really handy. I did have the label maker before KonMari, but I got, during KonMari, I'll show you in a second what I did with files. I did get a mobile scanner. It was very expensive, but definitely worth it. Another thing is my accessories used to live in my bathroom, which is right next to my bedroom. I will show you. But, you know, one of the things that Marie Kondo talks about is not necessarily putting things in the most convenient space, or like trying to have your keys by the door, for example. And I found that when I move things to my closet, I come into my closet more, and it's a good sort of like in and out space for me. So if I'm getting dressed, you know, I've got my clothes in here. I got my bags hanging here. I have my clothes. I sort of do the thing where it goes long to short to make this like upward curve here. I don't know if that makes me happier, but there it is. And then I can come right over here to grab any jewelry I want. And then it's kind of hard to see, but down here, it's a little messy right now, but I have hats, gloves, bow ties, like random things like that on top of the drawer where I do fold my clothes with the file style. And I really like having the outside of the t-shirt out. That is something that I always do, is I leave the outside out so I can tell what the heck I'm grabbing. So I don't know if my clothes are actually happier, but doing it this way, it does give me a little home base for everything where I can throw my keys, take off my accessories, change clothes all in one place. I also use this little cart. So my clothes used to be in the bathroom closet, and I was able to, by clearing out a lot of the clutter that was in some of these storage bins that I have here, I was able to make space and reorganize the bins. So I have this little cart for the underwear, socks, tights, stuff like that, either rolled or folded. And then over here, this entire thing is pretty much empty. It's got one old computer in it. So I really did clear out a lot of just random hobby stuff. And then these shelves, you can see again, are labeled. A lot of my crafting stuff is here. I will be going through this soon. I will probably do another video of kind of my reset, my going through. I mean, she's right. I don't have to do it all over again, but I will do a little Spark Joy refresher to just, you know, see if anything's changed. And I will go through these drawers with the hobbies. I also was able to clear a ton of stuff off this top shelf. So I have my tarot boxes nice and organized. A lot of my tarot I don't like to keep in the box it came in, but I want to keep the boxes in good shape in case I ever want to swap or sell. So these are all just sitting nicely up here. And then just a few things on this shelf. Some of the yoga stuff I don't use frequently. My suitcase, so I can just grab again and go when I am traveling. And some art that I don't currently have hung up now. So this closet thing has definitely worked well for me, and I continue to do it 1 year on. I'll also note that it might be kind of hard to see, but if I can get down here under the bed, there's a few bits of trash there, but there used to be 3 full boxes of clothes under there, and there isn't anymore. That box at the end is empty, and I have a guitar. So I really have managed to get clothes down to the essentials. Over in this corner, there's another example of those stickers that I really like, that fairy. So this corner tends to stay pretty messy. I have not managed to get this corner quite up to standards. It's my little reading corner, and I find that it just becomes home for like random boxes that don't fit in the kitchen. Over here, so one thing I have not succeeded in, you're really supposed to, if you're gonna sell stuff, you're really supposed to do it. You can also see I just throw my winter coat here. Sometimes I remember to go to the closet, sometimes I don't. But under all these bags and things, there's a box you can kind of see. That box includes stuff that I want to try to sell, and it's been a year. So clearly she is right. If you don't sell it right away, you probably won't. I really need to do that. But nobody's perfect. Over here in this corner, I am able to keep this laptop standing desk mostly clear so that it does serve its function, but I do find myself throwing dishes on it. So again, I'm not great at like putting things away immediately, but they do have their place. some sort of less frequently used books over here. You can see boxes have been piling up here. When I get a lot of packages, I have not been great at unpacking the package and then immediately taking the cardboard out. That is a challenge for me. And then over here, one challenge I have found, the closet works great, but there are certain clothes that I don't wear once. I wear them multiple times. I don't really want to put them back in with the completely clean clothes. I'm not going to keep track of how many times I've worn them. So I have a kind of pile of, I guess I'd call them active clothes, which is probably not Marie Kondo recommended. I also have down here at the bottom, again, they've been sitting here for a year. You can see some sort of journals on the bottom of that cart. Those are things that when I did the clean out, I was like, I'm just going to go through these. I'm going to scan some of them. I'm going to get rid of them, and I haven't. So again, really do that or else you won't. Same thing over here, literally under my bed. So there's a bunch of crap here that I usually manage to clear out every month or so. But under the bed there is a pile of things I need to scan. So with the files, I've done okay. Down here on the bottom shelf of this bookcase, I did really clean out most of the random notebooks I have, and this one right here is actually like all of my files that used to be in 4 file boxes now fit into that one notebook. So those are like permanent files, things I don't want to scan. Everything else I scanned. I think this is a very specific notebook, some specific stuff, but otherwise, like, it's in there. Now, I think she says don't keep yearbooks. I totally have yearbooks. I can't quite get rid of them yet. Although I have been thinking of just cutting out the bits that have me in them and pasting them somewhere else. But yeah, so the things that I did scan during the KonMari, month or so, went great. The stuff that came after that is now sitting under my bed in a 2-scan pile, and my mobile scanner is kind of tucked in right there. It never comes out, so that is a bit of a problem. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely much less papers than I used to have, and you can see them. I've got my tarot all nice and organized, some books that I don't use as much under the tarot. I'm not going to show you the big bookcase in the living room right now because that's where my roommates are, but you'll just have to trust me that I did pare that down a lot, and I have not reacquired books. I maybe have got one physical book. I've been really good about ebooks. That definitely changed my habit in terms of book buying. But I'm not as strict as Marie Kondo would be, in that you can see that I do have books that I keep, and maybe I haven't read them. Maybe it's going to take me a while to read them. I don't care. I kind of disagree with her on that point. But I did reduce significantly. And then on top of the shelf, you can see that my in basket is kind of overflowing, but I did like her suggestion about an in basket, and this used to be my inbox, this tray here. You can see it's really deep, and it could easily get really overwhelming. So I got this 3-tier thing. I need to use it better, but there it is. I got this hole punch that makes it easy to put things in the notebook I showed you if they are permanent. I have a mug full of all the pens and things I use for journaling, including a ruler and some scissors. And then over here is more Bujo stuff. Poor little mascot bear fell over, but he sits in there. And you can see it's a little disorganized, but it's not too bad. Like, I used her advice with the like old iPhone boxes for the washi, and that worked really, really well. Generally, I know what's here. I also have a photo album that I put a lot of my stickers in, and the photo album, it's not a KonMari thing, but it's a great method. If you have a ton of stickers, to be able to quickly find what you need. So here's my bathroom. Again, this needs a tidy, you can tell. But some of the advice I took, so I gave my one collection that I have a nice home. These are all the shot glasses from places I've traveled. Up top, got some towels. So buying the shelving unit was really helpful. I got rid of a lot of storage stuff, but I bought a couple that were really intentionally for this. This is a little bit of a disaster. I've got bathroom stuff all over the place. So that's one place where it hasn't worked out so well. But this little organizer has. So some of the stuff I use the very most, I put in there, and that has worked well. I also did kind of pretty up. I got these flowers and these matching things just to kind of spark a little joy in my bathroom. Even the orange trash can to match the general decor. I replaced the old crappy shower curtain with another orange one and got this bright pink towel. Goes with the bath mat, goes with my bedding. So you can see we've got a nice little theme going on. That does really make me happy, I will admit. And then as far as drawers go, I have actually stayed on track. So I used organizers for all the makeup and stuff. I mean, it looks a little messy, but it's not that bad. Travel stuff is right there, easy to go. And then if we look down here, this is very nicely organized. All the various like lotions and bath things. So I can quickly grab what I need, whereas before I definitely couldn't. This looks disorganized, but it is way better than it used to be, like first aid, stuff like that. You can see, yes, I throw random clothes on the floor, and the laundry bag is right behind my bedroom door, so there is no real excuse for that. But hey, it happens. And then I cleared out a bunch of random bath type stuff down here, but I keep things that I want to quickly be able to access, like bathroom cleaner, a bunch of spare candles, because I do go through candles pretty quickly, and fertilizer for my plants, toilet cleaner, etc. So, but all these bins are empty. I think she would say get rid of the empty bins, but I might move at some point. So yeah, there we go. That was a little tour of my space, 1 year on from KonMari. If you are starting out new, have any questions, go ahead and leave me a comment. I would love to offer advice or answer any of your questions. And if you enjoy this kind of content, I will continue to do some stuff about organizing, decluttering. I have a whole series on this channel called Unproductive, a productivity series for the rest of us that you might enjoy if you like this. And I will be recording a video on how I reset my KonMari this year. So please do subscribe if you enjoyed, hit that like button, and I hope to see you around here soon.